This raid is the result of an 8-month investigation into a case that took many unexpected turns for the human trafficking unit in Catalonia, Spain. In this bust, 15 members of 2 Nigerian groups were arrested for what detectives say was the forced prostitution of more than 40 women. What was different in this case was the way the Nigerian cells were said to operate compared to other groups who bring women into the country for the same purpose. Sub-Inspector Xavier Cortez is the head of the undercover human trafficking unit. He says the accused traffickers target women in certain areas in Nigeria, promise them honest work, and even get approval from their families to bring them to Spain.
Son captadas para una serie de individuos.
These women were captured by a series of individuals whose function is to locate young women with serious economic problems. They make them an attractive offer of a new and improved life with a job as a hairdresser, which they would normally do, and then they say they'll provide transportation and their work location here in exchange for a minimal amount of money. They claim they are helping populations of these localities.
In fact, Cortez says what the traffickers claim is a little amount of money turns into a lot, up to $70,000. That's more than twice what other groups charge to bring women from as far away as China. The only way to pay off such a high debt is through the very lucrative work of prostitution.
We were able to determine that some of these women, after they were identified as practicing prostitution in the center of Barcelona all day, for the night were moved to a brothel on the border with France, and there they continue prostituting themselves during the night. We are talking 18 or 20 hours of sexual activity in a day.
If any of the women were brave enough to fight back, Cortez says they were savagely beaten, and it wasn't just the women who were in danger.
There is an element of oppression that is even more influential in breaking the will of the woman, and that is the possibility of aggression to the family, that they could suffer because of her decision not to engage in prostitution.
Investigators say the Nigerians in Barcelona kept in touch with Nigerians back home, who would kidnap the women's children or even kill members of their families if there was any defiance. In fact, the case came to the attention of the human trafficking unit after a woman believed a threat against her family had been carried out when she received the news that her mother had died.
In this case, there hasn't been a direct link established to inform us that there was a death caused by a homicide, but evidently the coincidence of time between the threat and this death made this woman stop the link that had been risking her security.
The woman had been in the group's control for years and had never gone to police before because of yet another powerful force the Nigerians employed. Investigators say before the women ever left Nigeria, they went through a religious ceremony, making oaths to a voodoo priest. In the ceremony, the women swear not to go to police and report how they came to Spain. And if they break that oath, pain and suffering will come to them.
And actually, when you talk with them, you learn that even when they are subjected to a process of exploitation that's extremely serious and to have lived in circumstances very, very, very extreme, they continue maintaining it because their religious convictions call them to maintain it.
And yet, the human trafficking unit would get one more surprise out of this group, a show of humanity amid the violence. The unit learned that once the women paid out their debt, they were free to go. Just one more oddity in this case of ever-unfolding twists and turns. For the CNN Freedom Project, I'm Martin Savage.